Hey guys, this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be decorating a blank book together. So some time ago, a couple months ago, I created this tutorial. This is the 9x6 easy hinge album, and I will link it below if you guys want to create this book before we go ahead and decorate it. This was a tutorial that I posted here on my channel for everyone. And then I also did a second tutorial, which was adding 5 easy features to your book. So these are the 5 easy add-ons that we created. So we have here an interactive sliding page. We have these kind of like double pocket or belly band piece here. So I'll link these 2 videos below, so if you guys want to go ahead and create your base, super easy base, and then you can go ahead and create your little add-ons here. So I sized these add-ons, as you can see, on the narrow side, so you can put them on these particular pages. And the tutorial for this book was just very simple, just the base pages, and basically that's it. And then the second part was all these add-ons. Now this feature that you see here on the inside cover was actually a page that was exclusive to my YouTube members. So this is what I call the peekaboo page. So if you're a member to the channel, you have access to this video. So we basically have over here a window, and then we have a pull sliding page, and then you can have a picture right there, kind of like a little hidden page. But yeah, so that was the little extra video that I did for my YouTube members. Now to decorate this book, I'm gonna be using this collection by Paper Rose Studio, and it's called Candy Florals and Candy Kisses. So we have over here the Candy Kisses basics. So these are background pages here. I think there's another one. I'm not sure yet, but I might have it. It took me some time to remember what collection I was using for this. I've been trying to finish incomplete projects like this, something that I already started, and I recently had a blank book sale because, I mean, realistically, I make a lot of different blank books for tutorials, and I wish I always want to decorate them all, but you know, I ran out of time, and then I just have too many sometimes. So I still have a few, so I want to work on those first here. So then I also have these cut aparts. These are called the Candy Florals, and this is this beautiful paper collection. The company is called Paper Rose, and they're from Australia. So I think it's just super sweet, the paper. So yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and decorate our book here. So I like that we have just plain backgrounds, because that's gonna make it super easy to add the papers here, and then we can decorate with the add-on pages. And I'm gonna look in my stash to see if there's another, I think there is another paper collection that goes with this set, that is the design pages, because this is just basically the background pages, I think. Oh, look at that, we have all these different cut aparts, beautiful colors here. So let me see if I'm missing one page. That is because we do have another collection. So yeah, so I'll look for that, but I think for now we're just gonna go ahead and add all the backgrounds pages here. So it's gonna be a quick and easy project. So the book measures 9x6, but the inside pages measure 5 1/4 by 8 3/4. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut all of my pages at 5 by 8.5. So, and I'm gonna need 2, 4, 6, and 8 of those. So let's just put these to the side and let's cut our pages here together. So I'm gonna start with this beautiful red one here. So let's bring this out, and I'm just gonna cut actually 2 at the same time. Now this collection, it's I want to say it would be a beautiful like Mother's Day collection, or a what do you call this, Valentine's collection, but it can also be a really beautiful birthday collection. And because of all the red, I will say even probably Christmas, if you add some ephemera that is more related to Christmas maybe. But anyway, we're just gonna cut these. I'm gonna do 2 at the same time, and so this is going to be 8.5. So we're gonna do 8.5 by 5. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna put these 2 together here, and let's do 8.5 by 5. There we go. Okay, so here I have 4. Now again, on one side we have the red colors, then we have this really pretty neutral, but there's a lot of red, so again this could also double as a Christmas maybe. I can see it, I don't know. You see it. I know it's a little early for Christmas, but you know, I'm already planning ahead because I want to make some Christmas gifts. I'm working on already some Christmas projects. I'm working on the Christmas edition for the magazine. So I have Christmas in my brain already. So I'm just gonna cut these. Let's actually do it like that. At 8.5. And this is going to be by 5. Okay, so 8.5 by 5. And 8.5 by 5. So the beauty of making just a blank base with no flaps and then making the add-ons on the side, it just makes it, I think, really quick and easy for the decorating process. So we already have 8 of these pieces here, and we have so many more sheets, so maybe I'll cut a couple more and mix and match. But let's go ahead and start gluing these pieces. So let me grab my glue back here. Let me grab these. Okay, and let's see. I want to start with this page. Okay, so we're just gonna add the glue. Place this piece right there. Okay, and now for the back, maybe I can use some of this. Okay, so let's add this here, and then I'm going to mix it with maybe this other red one. Okay, and I actually really like that the paper is a little bit glossy, but it's like really thick and so smooth. I really like the quality. Okay, so next I'm gonna add maybe this. Maybe I'll add this to kind of break away from all the red a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna add this piece here. Put that there. And then I can add maybe. Okay, so let's see this one again, or that. Okay, I'm gonna go for this one here. Okay, so add this page. There we go, right here. And then for the back, I kind of like this side a lot, so I'm gonna be using more of those. And then maybe I can reuse this other design here. And we're gonna be adding the inserts on top, so we won't really see a lot of these pages anyway. So that's okay. And then we're gonna do this one. Okay, and then for the back, we are going to add this piece. Okay, and then I'm gonna add one more for that next page. So this one is going to be a little bit bigger, so let's measure this page here. So the inside is about 5 3/4, so we're gonna cut these at 8.5 by 5.5. So let me use this beautiful page. So 8.5 by 5.5. Okay, and I'm just going to add this piece here. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this piece for the cover, or for the inside cover here. Oh, actually I think I need to make this bigger, or we can layer it. So maybe I can use this blue and just kind of layer that here, because I need this piece to be 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then we're gonna cut these at 8.5 by 5.5. Okay, and then we can double this here. Okay. And so that can go right on top. Perfect. And then this is going to go on the back cover here. I accidentally got some ink on my cardstock, but I'm okay with that. I don't know if ink comes out at all. Oh, but what I could do is I can add, let's do that. I'm gonna add a piece of cardstock on top. Okay, so yeah, so I can't erase it, but I can glue this on top. Alright, so let's do it. So I'm gonna cut these at about 6 inches, and I'm just gonna glue that here to cover the, I only needed to cover the bottom part of it, but I'm just gonna glue this whole piece. Okay, so easy solution. I accidentally placed it down where I was inking, and it got on my ink pad. But that's the beauty of the scrapbooking. Like, it's so easy to, you know, fix the issues. And okay, so now we're just gonna glue this on top. There we go. So that is gonna go right here. Okay, and I really like the blue outline. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. And then we're gonna do the other piece here for the front cover. So 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. And I don't have my front cover yet, but I'm going to be gluing this because I know this is gonna be the outline for that. Okay, so quick and easy process here to add our papers. And then for the spine, I'm going to use this piece and also do 8 3/4. And my spine measures 2 1/2. Yes. So I'm gonna cut these at 2, and I'm gonna do 2 3/8. And then I'm going to do, actually, I love this, so I'm gonna do this for the cover, and probably I'm gonna do this for the spine here. So this is going to be 8 1/2 by 2 1/8. Yes. Yes. So I'm making this a little bit bigger than normal. So this was 2 3/8, and this is 2 1/8. Okay, and then we are just going to glue this on top. And that is going to be our spine here for this book. Let's go like this here. Okay, and then we are going to add that on our spine. Okay, so we have the back and we have the spine, and then for the front I want to use this page here. So we are going to add these. I don't think I cut these straight, so I'm going to cut this again. Okay. So this is going to be 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Okay, and now we are just going to glue this piece down. Place that right here. Okay, and let me make sure that we have it center. There we go. Press down, and look at that, how cute it looks already, just by adding our paper. I love the outline here, spine, back, and we already have all the pages at least covered with paper. So now we are going to move to decorating the booklets. So now this one is gonna be a little bit more tedious because we have more little places, you know, more small things to cut and things like that. So I'm gonna just go with the first one here because I want this one. I love gatefolds as an opening option to your mini albums. You might have noticed that I always like having a beautiful gatefold at the beginning of my books. So we're gonna start by adding just a couple little magnets here. So I'm using 10 by 1 millimeter magnets, and these are always listed on my Amazon store. So those over there, you'll find easy links to all the things that I am using all the time. So I'm just gonna add my magnets, and we're gonna add some tape. Okay, so let's peel this off. Okay, so that, and then we're just gonna put the magnets here on the top, and we're going to cut 2 more pieces. Okay, so that goes like this, and this one goes like that. Okay, and so now I'm just going to, I like to have my page open because that way I know what papers I want to use for the next page. So I think maybe I'm gonna go with this neutral page that I kind of like, but since we have the small pieces, I'm just gonna go through my little scraps here. This paper is very slippery. So we're gonna go through this little scrappies maybe. So I'm gonna need a piece that is going to be about 2, and this is 7 inches, so 2 by 6 3/4. So I don't know what this measures, so that might be a little too small. So I'm just gonna cut, a new one of these. Okay, so we are going to cut this here first at 6 3/4. Okay, and then we're gonna do this by 2. Okay, so we have that, and we have this. Okay, so we're gonna put this more neutral background here. I'm just gonna add the glue, and I'm going to add this little piece here, and add this little piece right there. And now I'm gonna go to my little ephemera page, and I'm gonna pick something to put at the center here. I want something really cute, so maybe I want to say this piece, put the little window. So I'm gonna just cut these, and I love how heavy and thick this is because I don't need to back this on cardstock. So if this was a regular ephemera piece, I will probably be backing this on cardstock. So with this one, I don't think I need that. So I'm just gonna cut here and cut, and there we go, and cut. Okay, and then I'm going to ink, and so hopefully I won't get my ink on my book again. So what happened last time was I literally had this to the side and I put my book on top of that. So I'm gonna ink this little piece. Okay, and we can just put that right here at the center. I might actually use some flowers too, because these are so beautiful, so why not? So I'm just gonna add these flowers. I'm just gonna do a fuzzy cutting on this one, something quick. Okay, so go like that. Okay. There you go. And so I am gonna ink this little bit. Let's see, okay. So that way we bring a little bit more of this pretty red color here. We can even probably do this, and then we can have some up here and some back. Let's see, some back here like that. Maybe I cut this too much, but I think we can do something like this. I just want a little bit of the flowers peeking through. Let's see, maybe I'll do, there we go. Yeah, something like that. Oh, maybe I'll add another one. And then we can kind of have this all sitting on flowers. So I'm just gonna do another one of these. Okay, and then let me ink. And then we can kind of have these ones coming from the side. I think that looks more balanced. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to glue this here on the side first. So let me grab my glue. And I'm just gonna put this little collage here together. So I'm gonna do that. Then I wanna have these other ones up here like this. Yeah, so I'm gonna add some glue back here and have these ones come like that. Let me do this one on front, this one on the back, and then I'm gonna put the other one maybe like this. I'll just put it on the side like that. Okay, so we're just gonna put this on the side. Oh, maybe like this. Oh yeah, that way I can see. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and glue these at the center. So we're gonna add glue only on half of this piece. Okay, so just adding the glue, and I'm gonna place that right there. Open it to make sure that you're not gluing it by accident, and there you go. So now I'm just going to put this away from my paper, and I'm not gonna decorate the inside too much, maybe just for this one page, because I just wanna be able to show you all of the different pieces. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I have paper that's small enough to cover that inside. Like this would be really pretty for the inside. So I think for the insides I'm gonna be using more of the other contrast colors so that it doesn't look extra red, but yeah, so I'm gonna actually cut these here. I'm gonna do this at 6 3/4 by 2. Okay, so let's just do this piece, and I'm going to remove the tape on these sides, and we're gonna add the glue, and I'm gonna place these two. Okay, so this can go right there, and then here at the center, this piece measures This is 5¼ by 4¼ so I will need a 5 by 4 piece, and so maybe I can just use this here. It's exactly like the one we have outside, so maybe I'll do something different. So this is the part that takes the longest, right? The one that you're actually thinking. So I'm gonna do here 5 by 4, and I think the one inside is the same, so I'm gonna do another one at 5 by 4, and we are just going to add these pieces here. So I'm just gonna glue that right there. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this side so we have a little bit of a different color right there. Okay, so that's gonna go right here, and I'm gonna close and close, and there we go. And then this piece is going to go up on the center right there, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add my glue. Okay, and then we're gonna place this piece right there. Okay, so just press down and press down, and so that is gonna be the front here with the gatefold. And now we have these 2 accordion folds, and I might just leave that empty to not add more bulk to these pieces, and I might need to add another magnet here, but we're just gonna move right along with the next little layout. So over here we have this is the one that has the double gate, what do you call these, little belly bands right there. So maybe I'm going to use this cardstock right there. I don't think I have any small pieces, and so this piece here measures 4½ by 6. Is that 6 or 5¾ I think it's right in between. So we're gonna cut, I'm gonna cut this piece here at 5¾ okay, by 4. I already forgot. Okay, by 4¼ okay, and I'm gonna glue this piece here. Okay, I love these flowers. And then we have this little booklet that we're putting in there, but for the back, so we have 2 pieces here, so I'm gonna use these that I have, and I actually have another little one right there. Yeah, it's too small, so we're gonna cut these at 4¼ and then to cover this first little piece, this is about 4 inches, so I'm gonna do like 3¾ right, and so this one is gonna go under that belly band. So I'm just gonna add my glue and place this under right here, and then I'm gonna cut another piece, and this over here is 1½, so this is gonna be 1¼ and I'm gonna use the back design. Okay, so this is 4¼ by 1¼ and that can go right there, and then I can probably use this piece here, and I'm gonna use this one. I don't know that this is big enough, but I can use that here. So I'm going to do another 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, and then this can go on this other belly band. Just gonna place that right there like that. And then for the back piece, this one here measures 6 inches. So we're gonna cut these at 4 1/4 by 5 3/4, and I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna add this piece back here. Okay, so I'm gonna use this here. So I'm gonna cut this at 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, and just place this. Okay, so that's gonna go right there. And then this is gonna be the piece that's gonna go through these 2 belly bands to keep those closed. And then this also opens like that, so we can add the paper there here. And I like that you can see a little bit of that other design. And then I'm going to cut another one of my images here from my ephemera. I just love all these candy shops. They're so beautiful. Okay, so I'm just gonna go like that. Okay, and then this can be placed right here. I'm gonna put it on the lower side so we can add a picture there on the top. Okay, or you can place it at the center also. So I'm just gonna put that right here. In fact, I'm gonna put this here on this piece, and I think this is actually gonna be really cute. We can put that through here, right? And then it could also, you can also make it close. Let's see here. This could go through both of those, and then also go through this top piece here, and just kind of lock everything in place. I like that. And then you can have a picture there, and then this whole thing is gonna come down. Okay, so now let's add these. So okay, so now this is the next page, and you don't have to add it there. You can just gonna play around. I like it here because it matches with these flowers. So let's place that right there like that. So there you go. So that just makes the whole page. Now if you like, you can decorate it. I'm just gonna have them as a floating page. You don't have to glue them down. So now for this one, I'm just gonna go ahead again and add my paper. So I'm just gonna speed through the process of adding the paper on these pages. Actually, I'm gonna hold this one like this so it can be like a little envelope. I'm gonna add a magnet, and so yeah, I'm just gonna continue adding the paper. Okay, so I'm down to my last booklet here, and for this one, this is a pull down waterfall. So we're actually gluing only this section here onto our page. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and glue that. Now I'm debating because I love this page design, so I was thinking maybe I'll put it on this side instead. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to, I mean, it's not hard, but it's gonna, yeah, making these choices, you know, very difficult life choices, I guess. But yeah, so I think I was meant to put it here. That's where I designed the page for, but I am going to go with my gut and put it on this side. And then I also do have more of this paper, so I can actually just add this same paper here instead of, yeah, because that's what I wasn't very sure what paper I'm gonna use for that. So there we go. So I'm going to be this over here measures 8.5 by 4.5. Actually, let's double check on that. So yes, 4.5 by 8.5, and so we are going to cut this piece at 8.25 by 4.25 here. Okay, and I'm just gonna keep the same design as the background, maybe. Does that make sense? Yeah, because I don't like that one here. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and glue this down, and we're gonna place this piece there. Now when you glue this booklet, you're only gonna glue this section right here, that belly band on the back. Okay, so we are just, again, I can't make up my mind. Okay, just gonna go for it here, and there we go. So that's gonna go on that full page. And I know this looks like a lot of pattern paper, but remember, you're gonna put a picture here, so all of that is going to go away for the most part. Yeah, and then you will only see a little bit of that. You can always layer more paper. And so this page opens down, and then here is where we have that pull down waterfall. And I love that because this book is narrow and long, we can fit 4 by 6 pictures here. So this is 4.5 by 6.5. So I'm gonna use this piece actually to cover that. Okay, so 4.5, I mean 4.25 here. Do this again. 4.25 by 6.25, and that's gonna be the page that's gonna go over here. Okay, so let's remove the tape. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this out and glue this down. Okay, so that will go right there on the inside, and then I'll finish adding the paper on this side and the rest, and that is gonna be our pages. So I went ahead already and glue all of those pieces. Now if you like, you can make even more inserts like the ones we did and add it on the other pages that we don't have anything on. And I'm just gonna finish up here with the cover. So I'm going to cut this piece here at 4. I'm gonna do 4 by 4.5 maybe. And I'm going to have these kind of as a picture place, and I also want to round the corners for this little piece. Okay, so I'm just gonna round the corners, and then I want to make this picture place kind of stand out, so I'm going to add some chipboard on the back. So let me just grab a piece here from my scraps, and let me cut these at maybe 3 3/4 by 4, and then we can glue that on the back. Okay, and then we can have these, and I don't know which side I like more, maybe this side here. I'm just gonna place that, and then I'm gonna put these right there as a picture place. Let me make sure that we don't see the chipboard. Okay, and I'm just gonna add the glue right here and place that. So now your picture will kind of stand out a little more because of the chipboard, so it looks coming out of the page a little bit. And I don't know exactly what this book will be for. I'm assuming this will be a beautiful birthday celebration. So I have this little chipboard piece that says celebrate, and I think this will apply for any occasion. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this piece down. Okay, so I'm just adding some of that, and just like that, very simple, beautiful. Look at that. Oh, I love it. You know, I'm thinking now as I am putting that celebrate, it will be a beautiful book for my daughter's birthday. She turned 18. Oh, I can't believe it. And so we have tons of pictures, so this will be a beautiful celebration for that, because her theme was kind of like red. She had red flowers, and it was just beautiful. So I think this will be a beautiful book for that. I don't want to over embellish and put flowers here on the cover. I think this is just perfect. I love the simplicity of the book, and I love this little peekaboo page here. So we'll just do a quick walkthrough. I will finish up adding papers, and then I'll do another walkthrough. I did add another magnet here to make it became that close. So then here, yeah, so these are just pockets, so I'll probably need to make little photo mats and tags to go in there. Just a beautiful open page. This one turned out really cool. Actually, you take this down, place for a picture, and then this opens and opens. I still need to finish embellishing all of that, and then this will go just kind of right here. Make sure it goes through both of these belly bands and the little house right there. Place for a picture. Again, you can add another one, make another one of these booklets and add it on the other side. And then this one is just that fun pull down, and then another open space here. So I hope you guys enjoy decorating this book with me. And again, the tutorials are all linked. They are free for everyone, so if you want to follow the tutorial for this book and the add-ons, everything, I'm gonna have a link below. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.